Hi, I'm Annie. Today I'm going to talk about how to be resolute. I love habits, behavior design, achieving goals. It's just something I geek out on. If you'd like to chat with me one-on-one about behavior design or creating goals that you can stick to and follow through, check out my snug link in the description. So I was watching a show the other day, I don't remember which one, and one character said to the other character, "I always choose drink less for my resolution." And then the other character said, "I usually choose quit smoking." And the implication being that they choose the same resolution every year and then they don't follow through, so they just simply choose it again the following year. Don't do that. It's better to just own it and say, I'm not doing shit this year, and follow through on that. Because the important thing is following through. Making a habit of following through is how you get better at achieving your goals. Every time you disrespect your own resolutions that you make to yourself, you're teaching yourself, I'm the kind of person who doesn't follow through. Not following through is the habit that you cultivate. So if you have a habit of not following through, but you want to become someone who does follow through, you want to become someone who keeps resolutions and creates meaningful change over time, then it's important to design your new behaviors very carefully. They have to be designed in a way that they are easy and actually achievable. If you're new to keeping your word to yourself, then it's important to make your goal so easy that you can't fail. A lot of times people say go big or go home, but that really isn't a great strategy for setting and achieving goals. People often design really big behavior changes like exercise for 50 minutes a day, 6 days a week. And in the beginning, they go all in. It's exciting. They do too much, too fast, they get injured, then they fall out of the habit, they feel like a failure, and they never go back to the routine. Or maybe the habit was just poorly designed to begin with. Maybe it looked really good on paper, felt really good conceptually, but then as they're actually living out the reality of their lives, the habit might not be designed appropriately for the way that their lives work. And, they just didn't realize it because it all sounded so good in their head. I've had a lot of experience with achieving goals, and I think it's because I managed to achieve 2 or 3 of them, and it made me feel so good. That I've wanted to achieve more. Having success at a couple of easy goals is what created this enthusiasm for achieving goals that caused me to create bigger goals and bigger goals and bigger goals. It's kind of addicting. Now, goal setting is something that I think about all the time, not just on January 1st, but, throughout the year. I'm always reevaluating my goals and my progress. And it feels really amazing to know that you have that kind of control over your destiny. When you design your own behaviors and create your own habits, you have a lot of control over what happens in your life. It's about really, really owning your actions and your behaviors to achieve the things you want to achieve and become the person that you want to become. So even though I make a lot of goals all the time and I check in with my goals every day, I still get really excited and nostalgic about January 1st. I really like to look back on where I was at last January. I look at what goals I created then and how did they work? Did any of them not work or not fit into my life because they were just unrealistic or poorly designed? Can I make improvements on the design of that habit to achieve the goal moving forward? So this December, I'm already thinking about my January 1st goals. I actually started thinking about them in October because I get really excited. And I'm kind of trying on different habits. I'm trying some things out to see what I think is really going to work. What can I really realistically commit to that's going to fit in with my lifestyle? In 2020, my fitness has diminished. And it's mainly due to long hours sitting and working on crafts for my Etsy store. It's just an awful lot of sitting. 2020 has been an amazing year to focus on my handmade business, and it's been a great opportunity. So I really feel like it's appropriate and okay that I kind of was a workaholic about my Etsy store. My balance was a little bit off in terms of how much time and effort and focus and energy I was putting into my Etsy store, versus how much I was taking care of my body. I really feel like it was a phase in my life when that was okay because I was was achieving something really important, and I was still getting a pretty decent baseline of fitness. I mean, I can still run, I still cover a lot of miles on foot every week, and just have like basic fitness. So I'm okay with it. But now that I sort of have the rhythm of Etsy and things are kind of settled there, I'm super excited to get my fitness back. Plus, I'd really like to button my pants. Also, in the past, I've sort of fallen into the habit of just running exclusively for fitness. And, you know, running's great, a lot of amazing benefits, but running only isn't great for well-rounded fitness. I really want to make sure that I'm also focusing on strength and flexibility. I love the idea of taking small fitness breaks throughout the day rather than doing one, 20 to 50 minute workout. Some purists will argue that it's better from a hormonal perspective if you do the workout all at once and then just like really, really rest, especially when it comes to strength training. But whatever. I think that the habit that you will do, the habit that fits into your life and your lifestyle, is the best habit. Doing little sets of 10 squats throughout the day is better than doing nothing at all. So I'm totally cool with it. So here's a new habit that I'm trying out this week. I just want to see how it feels, how it works, and see if I want to keep it. It's kind of silly. I picked 2 to 3 exercises for the day. So yesterday I picked walking lunges, glute bridges, and squats. And every time I take a pee break, after I pee, I usually wash my hands, and then I'll do one set of one of the exercises, maybe 10 squats or glute bridges for like a minute or 90 seconds or something like that. And then I write it down in my log just because I like to have a record of what I did. Oh, the other thing that I do after I do the set of squats is I celebrate, and it's kind of cheesy. So I pee, wash my hands, do 10 squats, and then I'm like, yay, I did it. It reinforces a feeling of victory. It just connects positive feelings to accomplishing the habit each time. So I'm trying out the habit and I'm perfecting the ground rules of the game. So for example, I pee a lot. Like I drink a lot of water and I pee a lot. So I already noticed like just immediately yesterday that there had to be some certain rules around it. Like, for example, I decided when I wake up in the morning, I'm like sleepy, I'm drinking coffee, I might pee a few times. I'm really not going to do 10 squats at like 5:15 in the morning when I just woke up simply because I peed. That just is unreasonable. So I usually do all that coffee morning stuff, and then I leash up my dog, and often I walk to the post office to deliver the Etsy orders that were ordered the day before. And so I decided once I'm back in my studio, usually by around 8 a.m., and I'm just here for the day to do my work, that's when I'll start this exercise of, doing the activity after every time I pee. I'll do that up until dinner, but then after I eat dinner, I'm not going to do that anymore. So I'm not going to be doing push-ups and squats after 7 p.m. And, I may think of other exceptions as, I try on the habit. So far, I really like it. I like it a lot, but I feel like probably what's going to happen is that I'll do this for a while and then I'll get some of my strength back, and then I'll probably want to start doing longer workouts just because I like longer workouts. Maybe I'll pick some program to follow that has more like, 20 to 50 minute workout sessions. I just kind of needed to get started. Making the habit really, really small and incredibly easy is how I'm getting started. I know that I will achieve my goal of getting leaner and fitter. Technically, I can still button most of my pants, but it's just not pretty, I want my pants to go on really, really easily, and I want to button them and zip them up and feel good. And I know that I'll achieve that because I've done it before. I've been through this formula. I know how to clean up my act, get fitter, proper nutrition. I know that I'll achieve that. But how I get there will be sort of changed and tweaked over time. Like right now, I'm doing some simple exercises every time I go to the bathroom. When that starts to get stale or doesn't work anymore, I will, change it. And maybe I'll be ready for a bigger challenge. I'll make it harder. I'll just keep adjusting it over time. What I will not do is give up. on the end goal because it's just not in my nature. And also because I don't want to teach myself that I'm the kind of person that doesn't follow through. I know that I am the kind of person that follows through. But that's why I'm really, really careful when I choose my goals. I don't want to choose something unrealistic because I don't want to fail. And yeah, I know that I won't. It's in the bag. I'm older. I'm gonna turn 44 in a couple of months. I know that I can feel it, that it's a little bit harder to get fitter at my age, but I know I can do it. I'm also really slow and steady when it comes to diet and fitness because I've seen a lot of friends crash and burn because they're going too big, too hard, too fast, and they're failing. I have a friend who keeps losing a little bit of weight and then gaining even more, and her strategy is to decide to go on a diet and drop down to 1,200 calories initially on day one. She's like way taller than me. I'm only 5 feet tall, and she's dropping down to 1,200 calories on day one. And I know she's going to fail. On day one, she failed. It's not going to work. It doesn't work. That is not a good habit design. I'm only 5 feet tall, and like I would pick a I mean, gosh, if I was going to start lowering my calories, I would start at 1,800, honestly, which is probably more than I need. And then I would just drop down incrementally, get used to hitting that target of 1,800, then maybe the next week drop down to 1,750, and then maybe, get comfortable with that, establish the habit. And at some point I would do a cutting period where, I might go down as low as 15 just as I'm losing the fat. But then I'd go probably back up to 1,750 to maintain because I know myself and I know that if I'm fit and active, I can maintain 107 pounds while eating 1,750 calories a day. I just know that about myself because I've done it in the past. So my point is, in order for habits to be successful, they have to be designed correctly. And there are a lot of design components. Maybe I'll explore some other kind of tips and tricks for designing habits. But one of the components is that it just has to be easy. It has to be easy enough that you're definitely going to follow through and you can do it. So anyway, happy habit designing. I don't know if you guys are as excited about habits as I am. I just really geek out on this stuff. I don't know why. Some great references. I love Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I love Tiny Habits by some other guy, somebody Fogg. It's funny because they have similar names, like Atomic Habits, like atomic is a really small unit, and Tiny Habits. And it's so weird because Atomic Habits, that guy James Clear, I think he's like a lead NI, like an INTJ or something. And he is really talking about the NI concept of habits and achieving them. It's just more broad and general. I mean, there's some nuts and bolts that you can get or maybe like infer from reading his big NI concept. But this other guy, last name's Fogg, the Tiny Habits guy. I haven't watched any of his interviews, but I would not be surprised to find out that he is maybe lead SI. His book is really the SI nuts and bolts, really specific details about the order of operations of how to design habits and achieve goals. I love those books. They're both available on Audible if you're a listener, or I'm sure you can, get like an e-copy or a hard copy of those things. That's all I've got about habits right now. Let me know what you think.